Hey guys, long time no see. This is not going to be a very long video, but I have to go check the oil on our farm truck and stuff, so I thought I'd bring y'all along with me. Alright, we're here. This is Lola, our 1987 Powerran W150 LE. If y'all want a full in-depth walk around, give this video to like 10 likes and I'll do it. Or I can go more in depth to the to the engine, but basically this is just my once monthly. Bruh, my truck has a much lighter hood than that. So let me put my GoPro a little bit down here. So in here, here's the inside. Nothing too special. I film a lot of TikToks with this truck because it is the farm truck, obviously. Rag, changed oil with, which she's been running pretty well recently, so I don't see that we'll have any problems. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, but you always know you check it twice. Yeah, alright, so cold and off it seems fine, but you know, you always gotta check it twice. I already checked, so I gotta start it now. It says, carbureted 318, I think it has an aftermarket camshaft in it, but that could be the exhaust. We've done nothing to this truck except there's a new voltage regulator, alternator, and some stuff we've done to it. This new battery, but I'll start it up for y'all. Yeah, close this here. See, the LE did come with a bunch of cool amenities like power windows, power door locks in 1987. Since she is a carburetor, you gotta give her 2 pumps. And she comes to life, just like that. Now it might be a little loud now, but this is the engine running. It's very loud. I'll take y'all back to the exhaust so y'all can hear it a little bit. It's also on a GoPro mic, which isn't the best. This one makes me think that she's got an aftermarket camshaft, because you hear that chop. That chop, that's something that camshafts are known for. So, I don't know, she might not, and just maybe the engine doesn't run well. And she has an aftermarket exhaust. I don't know what type. I haven't been under there to look recently. Long bed, obviously. She's got the typical, she was a West Virginia truck, and then she lived up in the mountains of Virginia for a while, so obviously salt roads, so the bedsides are gone. But besides the bedsides, actually, she's a pretty solid truck. The bed support on this side doesn't exist. See that? But besides that, she really has no rust except right there, and of course the other side. She had these ugly steps on her, but when we took her into a ditch after the wheel fell off, we had to take this step off, so I took this step side off, and then we figured out there's no bed support there, so we had to fabricate a little something to go there. See, this side still got the ugly steps that it had on it. I've yet to take these off for a few reasons. I just haven't had time to. We think this truck's been actually wrecked in the past, like maybe once, because if you look at it, the bed's paint is a lot better condition than the fender and the door. You can see the bed is almost perfect, while everything here is kind of a different shade of blue too. The thing is loud. And also this fender is also a lighter shade of blue than this door. But then again, there's also this side of the bed, which is worn out just as much as this paint. So I think she's been in an accident at least once before, maybe. I've never ran the VIN to check that, but I'll do that one day. It doesn't matter right now. I got her stuck recently because the four-wheel drive decided it just didn't want to exist that day. All right, let's check the oil hot here. Let me turn this off so y'all can hear me. So let's check the oil now again. Try not to burn ourselves. You know, like competent people. Hot oil is still the same level, which that is definitely very good. Reason I think this engine's probably been taken out and there's probably a different aftermarket cam is that these engines did not come blue, because it's got blue rocker covers and it's got a blue block, which, unless that was a upgrade with the LE, I don't think this truck came with that. So someone has taken this engine out before. It's also got a 2-barrel carburetor, which will be eventually replaced with a 4-barrel for the fact that 2-barrel carburetors suck. And the fact that that carburetor has issues with seizing. There's been times where it wouldn't start. You'd have to push it all the way to the floor for it to start. There's been times where it wouldn't cut off. There's been time it sometimes cuts off at stoplights. I mean, that might be one of the 500,000 vacuum leaks probably on this motor. We replaced this upper radiator hose. There's a funny story about that, actually. Me and my mom were gonna meet my grandmother at cookout one day, and like that, the engine was steaming. Smoke was coming out of the hood. Top radiator hose busted. Threw some water in her, took her down to the O'Reilly's, got a new top radiator hose, running like a dime ever since. The bottom radiator hose is down there. We replaced the harmonic balancer about a year ago now, actually before all that happened, because this truck has had alternator issues for the longest time. It burns through alternators like that. This is, I'm willing to say, our 4th one in under a year, because the first one started smoking, so we threw on one that my dad had from his Ram Charger, which is the same type of engine, and that one kind of blew up. As we pulled in, it was smoking, so then we put on another alternator, which is this same type of alternator here. But when I put the set screw in right there, I stripped the bolt thing. So that one eventually slid down to the point where we couldn't use it anymore. So, but that alternator was actually perfectly fine, except my idiot self did that. And then we also actually replaced the voltage regulator back there, but I think I already said that. But so far, bolts are still tight, which that's a good thing. Radiator cap. We replaced that because the old one broke. But besides that, I'm pretty sure she has head gasket issues because there's oil all over the rocker panel. That might be from the fact that I spilt it all when I was doing an oil change on it a while back. It's just still there. But besides that, it's a really nice, reliable truck. I mean, I think it's probably low on coolant. Nah, it's good. There's still coolant in there. It's still good. Put a marine battery in here because the old battery that we used to have, see, this truck has a tendency to just run dead by itself. It's done it like 4 or 5 times, and marine batteries are meant to be recharged when normal car batteries really aren't. So we put her a nice old marine battery in her, so if she runs dead, we could just keep her charged. My truck also has a marine battery in it for that same purpose. So I'll get y'all a starter up here. Runs like a top when she feels like it, really. This truck really has a mind of her own. This truck has 112,000 miles, at least we think, because of course it's a 5-digit odometer, and they just really roll over once they hit 100,000 miles, or 200. But it's at It's at 12,258, so 112,258. Besides that, the gas gauge doesn't work. I know, typical old truck thing. It actually has a really cool feature of when it's full, it'll tell you, but when it's getting low on fuel, it'll move to about a quarter of a tank. So that's how you know when it's low. And it's just something that when the no, actually this is a mechanical fuel pump. Honestly, we don't really know that. The blower motor is probably on the verge of death, and here, I'll just show you. Let's just turn on vent here. Actually, the blower motor's fine. It's the heat motor is what I think it is. It's getting very hot in here. AC doesn't work, obviously. Just typical thing here. AC non-existent. But we do have what we call the 2WD55, otherwise known as 2 windows down, 55 miles an hour. But besides that, really great truck. I'm pretty sure the heat doesn't work anymore, because it just like kind of died a while back, and now it's stuck in max AC. You know, that's lovely. Oh, there we go, I fixed it. It's got a windshield defroster, but again, the heater motor doesn't really work well. Because the problem is when you have one of these things and you park it under, let's say, a tree in fall, this right here, this grill right here, leaves will get on it, and then will get sucked down into the intake for the heater. That's why there's so many leaves on the floor mat right there, because when you go to turn on the fan, like let's say turn on vent, leaves will come out of that vent right there. But you know, it's a nice truck. We'll fix her air conditioning one day, probably never. But we got this little nice iHome phone holder. She's got a nice little Pioneer CD radio in it, with a blown speaker, because one of the speakers is blown from the last owner. Besides that, I really enjoy this truck. We got the headliner delete, actually, because the headliner, the original one of this truck, was falling down so bad that if you touched it, it would disintegrate and get in your eyes. So one day I just took all the screws out, headliner deleted it, and just put everything back, and it actually kind of looks pretty nice, because this is the original color to the truck originally, and you can tell that truck's not that color anymore, funnily. It's got a blue interior, because this was a blue truck. Most of the blue was kind of saturated. This door handle fell off. Got this little console here, which is really cool. You can get them at O'Reilly's. I highly recommend it if you have one of these trucks, because you just set it there. You got like 2 cup holders and some places to put stuff. One thing I do not like is the 4-wheel drive thing rattles a lot, and I've found a way to fix that. I just haven't had time. Everything works in her. Her dash lights could probably use a little work. Half the dash lights don't work, but 4-wheel drive light doesn't work. Common issue with this truck. So one day I'm actually going to pull this dash bezel out and fix all that. The map light works though, and it's also half falling out of the dash bezel too. But so it's got a cargo light from the factory that works, but the lens is so fogged up that I have to get a new lens for it. But I'm probably going to end up putting a Technique light in there anyway, so stay tuned for that. This truck actually came from the factory with 2 front KC lights. KC lights are long gone, but the switch is still here. And if I ever wanted to put lights up there again, I can, because all the wiring for it's still there. So that's fun. As you can see, the cargo light does work. It's hard to show you at daytime, but I could show you at night if I really wanted to. Windshield wipers has no wiper fluid in it. Imagine that. Besides that, that's really it. I can do a more in-depth tour one day if this video does pretty decent. But I'll also probably have a video of talking about where I've been for the past year. But I'm gonna try to come back. I'm gonna try. YouTube was kind of messing with my channel when I basically kind of left for a year. And then I also had a second channel about our house, which then YouTube tried to mess with that too. So I just took a break, stopped posting on the platform. But I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try to make more content. I'm gonna try to make car content now, because I don't have a vlog camera anymore. That thing broke. I tell you, Canon cameras are not as high quality as they used to be. But hey, it's probably my fault. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. This is probably gonna be about a relatively short video. Yeah, pretty short. And I'll see y'all next time.